Alrighty, my children, my brethren, what's up and what's good, guys? We have a real treat for y'all today. We actually have the Paul Cantu interview, baby. So my co-conspirator and co-host for the huge vintage swap meet that actually is going down this weekend, Sunday, September 15th, my boy Barry went around the city of Houston and interviewed some of the top thrifters and vintage store owners / vintage heads in the city. And I was blessed and privileged that he did conduct an interview with me. Obviously, I am co-hosting this event, so it's going to be a crazy one. We have over 60 plus vintage vendors signed up. Food trucks, DJs, everything you guys can imagine will definitely be at Data Faded Warren this weekend in Houston. So anyone who lives in Houston or the area, please pull up. It is going down. I have a lot of planters I've been working on, such as this little Jordan 4 that are going to be there. So if you guys want some exclusive access to art pieces, then definitely pull up. If y'all want to chop it up, meet your boy, pull up. It's going to be a fun, family-oriented event, so definitely come through. But he did interview me and answered a lot of questions you guys probably have as well. So without further ado, let's hop into this interview. And if you guys need any more clarification of where the event's taking place, the times, all that info's in the description. It is at the Bayou City Event Center for everyone in Houston as well. But yeah, all the info you need is down below. And also check out Barry's channel if you guys want to stay up to date on other really well-shot, dope interviews from vintage heads in the city of Houston and in all the surrounding areas that he takes this event. Without further ado though, let's get into it.
Welcome to the first episode of Data Faded Warren Vintage. The Vintage Train has led us here to a disclosed Goodwill location in Houston, Texas. I am here with the Thrift God.
Yes, sir.
Thrift Heaven Vintage.
We in the building.
Paul Cantu is in the building. And yeah, we live and direct right here, actually in the thrift store right now, in the Goodwill. And Paul, why don't you let people know where you're from and around what time did you start all of this?
Yes, sir. So I'm from Lamarck, Texas, 409 Galveston County. Unfortunately, in 2019, man, that's the murder capital of Texas, which is not really a fun fact, but it's factual. I started thrifting in 2012, like consistently. So when my sister came back from college, we would go like in 09, 2010, and then I really picked up on it, excuse me, in 2012 because everyone had vintage snapbacks on, and I was like, yo, I need some of those. Where's the best place to find them? Live in the thrift.
Live. Nice. And over the time you have brought Thrift Heaven Vintage into the scene, and you're now like your website is booming. How did that come into play, and around what time did you start doing that?
All right, man. So a lot of people got the game effed up, man. So a lot of people are in it for the money. I never was in it for those purposes. I just wanted to look fresh for less. And by thrifting, you can find those one-of-one pieces, and it's crazy. It's incredulous. So basically what I would do is I go in the store, record videos, because there were thrifters who made videos on YouTube, they all stopped. And that's when I was like, wait, hold up. I gotta pick up the baton where they left off. So I started making videos myself, and I passed on items that weren't my size. And then people started hitting me up like, why'd you pass on that? And so I started picking up a few more pieces. People would buy them, but I never was in it for the money in terms of selling clothes. I was in it just to look fresh for myself and to make videos to entertain. And then it kind of snowballed into what it is now.
Right,
so,
absolutely.
Yeah, it was never my intent, but it's kind of what it all turned into.
Just being motivated and keeping it going and consistent.
Exactly. And then also, man, I started by just grabbing pieces and, you know, selling here and there through Instagram and then through my email. And it got like overwhelming with the back and forth, the trades, the pictures, people flaking. So I was like, you know what? I'm cutting all that out. We're making a website and cutting out all the fees on like these apps and websites too, because I was like, you know what? If we're gonna get to this paper, let's do it right. Get it.
Do it right.
So yeah, I made my own website, and yeah, it's been booming. So we've had the website for 4.5 years now,
nice.
And it's just on the up and up. So
nice.
I'm blessed and privileged to actually be in the position I am, doing what I love, which is just being in the trenches as we are now.
Exactly, and it is an honor by myself and Data Faded Warren to be able to host this interview here with you. Inside of the haven where you were hatched.
Exactly. I was birthed.
Birthed here, right here, live and direct. So, was there anything in particular you was looking for at that time?
Oh man, dude, if anyone knows snapback, so I was in WWVSC, which is Worldwide Vintage Snapback Exchange. That's for the the real old heads, bro. Like I was in that Facebook group, and so I would come in the thrifts and just look for like shark tooth, sports specialty scripts, splashes, just all the desired hats, the diamond logo athletic, bro. I would be in here just sifting. And what's crazy is I didn't even like dip my toes into the clothes. I was looking for straight headwear, bro. Like, and that's what's wild. I would walk in, see no hats, be like, dang, and then leave. Then finally I was like, okay, man, I'm gonna start perusing a little bit more. Yeah. And I would go to garage sales, like antique stores, wherever to come up on these like hats. And then I started seeing the clothes, and I was like, Lord have mercy. They got the heat out here, bro. It's time. It's time. And I just started picking up a little bit of everything.
So I know you was doing the videos, but what exactly inspired you to keep it going? What were they really for? You know, what were you finding these things for at that time?
Okay, so I was finding a lot of things just, again, for the style of it.
Just for the style,
and to look unique, because in the school I grew up in, we had to wear polo shirts. That was our dress code. So 5 days out the week, I'm wearing just polo shirts. So I was like, man, how will I look like fresh, like on the weekends? And I'm like, let me just grab a couple little things like that. So that's pretty much where it started. And then the reason why I continued doing it was because I was just like, man, I found the videos to be entertaining and interesting, like seeing what people found in the thrift. So I'm like, bruh, if they're not making those, I need to make them. Yeah, that's why I like did it. And then I did it for about 2 years, like here and there. And then I worked a corporate job at an insurance company, and I was like, yo, this 9 to 5 in this cubicle, it ain't it, bro. Like, people were just like drones in there. They're just like, looking like zombies. So I'm like, nah, bro, like I'm trying to do something on my own and make it. And that's when I started making like 3 videos a week, start being consistent and really getting to the content.
Yeah.
So.
And how long have you had the Thrift Chariot, which we'll see?
Oh, man. The Thrift Chariot, baby. Okay, so that's always been my dream car, believe it or not. And luckily, it's a vintage vehicle on a mother freaking budget, boy. So yeah, I got it in 2014 is when I got the first one, the Thrift Chariot 1. So it was a former police van, and it said information and services on the side. So I was like, I cannot imagine this being a police whip, like this van. So I threw rims on it. I had it in college. I put in loudspeakers, so when I opened up the back, it was just like a giant speaker, bro. I'd be in my building, and you could hear the speakers outside the building. Like, everybody could hear it. So I was just driving around on Dayton's in my Chariot. And so I had that van for 2 years. Unfortunately, it did not pass inspection, and I wasn't riding dirty back then. I was like, whatever. Got a little tired of it, sold it, regretted it, and then I was like, man, let me get another one. So then I picked up the Thrift Chariot 2.0, and that's the one we got right now.
The one we got right now.
It's beautiful, man.
And that's been getting you all around, like
yes,
you were
sir.
traveling.
Hey, one owner, I can fit hella gear in there for the pop-up shops. Nice. So yeah, anytime I do Data Fed and Warren, man, the van is packed to the brim with heat, baby.
For anybody that don't know, how old are you?
Oh yeah, I'm 300.
300?
No. I've been playing. I'm a quarter of a century, man. I'm 25 years young.
Nice. How do you choose where you're gonna go on the road?
Dude, when I'm on the road, I literally would just, anytime I'm in, church shops, antique shops, I just Google, baby. Google can be your best friend, man.
Yeah, so
it's very helpful. And then sometimes you'll just drive around the town, you'll just see a sign. Like one time I just saw like a lamp, and I saw a clothing rack outside. I was like, that looks like a thrift. Busted that Yui, and sure enough it was. I found a fire Nautica jacket in there too. So sometimes it is just having that peripheral vision, baby. Like, I'm just tuned into this shit, bro.
While you've been on the road and traveling around, what has been your craziest piece on the road, and do you have a story with finding that crazy piece?
Jeez, I don't know, man. I don't collect clothes. I collect pieces, bruh. And not pieces. There's just multiple heaters that I found. I found this crazy Looney Tunes all embroidered like baseball jacket. So I had all the Looney Tunes just stitched in the back. It was nuts. I went into an antique shop and found some crazy troll babies. I found Tyson tees, Holyfield tees. It's just like, when you go into that many stores, you're just destined to find something. But what I really like the most is, like, in the Houston area or in big cities, they kind of know the game, but in these rural areas, they don't. So you can like really come up on extremely good deals. Like, they have no clue, and it's not like a popular thing. So that's when you can find the steals. Like, I'm talking vintage Nike Air crew necks, all types of accoutrements. Yeah, it's amazing.
And when it does come to vintage, you got your sportswear, got your band tees. What is your favorite, I guess, genre into this 80s, 90s, early 2000s vintage scene?
Honestly, I don't really pick favorites.
Okay.
I don't know if that sounds cliche, but honestly, bro, the one rule in this stuff is if it looks good on you, and if you will rock it, then cop it. That's my whole thing.
Yeah.
I'm just like, if I like it, I figure someone else will, and so I get it. And that's why sometimes on my site, I'll sell stuff that people don't sell, but people cop it.
Right.
Because some people want that unique look. Like right now, this isn't like any real hype. It's just a dope Gucci looking polo. Like that's what it's about. I'm rocking Sambas right now, dude. Like I grew up playing soccer in that soccer like indoor Samba culture. So it's just like combining little pieces that you like to create like a dope fit. And so honestly, I don't really pick favorites. Obviously, there's stuff that holds value, so you'll get excited about it. But I love anything that's bright, loud, and colorful. Look fresh for less, and look unique, and save money while you're doing it, and recycle clothes and save the planet. That's why we're out here doing this. That's why I do it. Like, I mean, I try and entertain, but I also like preaching through entertainment in a way. Like, I don't tell people, but you see it and you're like subconsciously motivated by seeing the come ups. You're like, dang, maybe I can do that myself.
Right.
And you can get a little bit of coin off it as well. So that's kind of the thing, is just empowering yourself, saving the planet, and looking dope. What else do you need?
Right.
Nothing.
Let me ask you, for a person who's kind of inspired, I'm not going to even say kind of, who is watching your YouTube channels and is inspired by you completely, what do you tell a person in those shoes into the game right now?
Yeah, so I was that kid, man. So you got to be in it for the love of it. I'm in it for the creativity. I went to school for art. I really am an artist, like true and through.
Right.
So yeah, I just say be creative. If you see something or something doesn't exist that you want, make it, find someone to make it. And yeah, just save your money, invest wisely. That's why I do this, man. Honestly, it's just like passing on dope stuff, the story, the culture, the history, and at the same time, you know, you can stack up a little bit of bread doing it. So it's a blessing.
Paul, I want to ask you, art does play a fact into the whole thing that you do, and how does that play into vintage and as you are an artist as well?
Yeah, so being an artist and being a creative, it's like the thrift store is basically just like a honey hole of information and references to draw from. So I'll see just fire pieces and instantly draw inspiration from the colorways, from the designs, and from the graphic nature in and of itself. Right. So basically I'll see these loud, crazy prints, and then I'll be like, man, that looks dope, but there's not like Taz dressed up like a Native American chief, so I want to do that. So I throw that on the back of a jacket.
Right.
And it's just like, it just really fuels the imagination. It just sparks that creativity to burn into a fire, you know?
And I want to ask a question for the, I guess for more the people who's watching you. Right now, we do know that the scene has changed a bit, and how have you adapted to the change as you're, you know, still progressing?
Yeah, so when I first got into this, and I was really going hard, like in 2012, there was just grails on grails everywhere. Like I would go in the store and just find the craziest stuff. Now things do tend to be a little bit more picked over, and I feel like a lot of people are discouraged by that. However, I've seen no difference. Like this last month, I've done the best I've ever done in terms of selling gear and grabbing pieces. So really, it's just like your level of hustle, what links you go to find the stuff, and then ultimately, it's like the only thing you can control at the end of the day is yourself. Like I can't control the prices, I can't control what they have, and so that's why like having skills, like artistic skills, where I can find just a blank jacket or a blank suitcase, customize it, and then have something that's a one-of-one and holds value in and of itself that's solely based on me, is kind of truly where the value lies. Okay. And so also, man, just social media, just my videos, just everything kind of works in tandem together, baby. It's like two people on that bicycle.
Right.
Like making the videos has the audience cops the clothes, the art fuels the Instagram fuels the viewers, the Instagram fuels people going to my site. It just, everything works, like is intertwined and connected. So yeah. I
do want to thank the Thrift God, Paul Cantu, here in his Habitat Natural. Until the next segment, we are here. Shout out to Paul Cantu, shout out to Thrift Heaven Vintage, shout out to Houston, shout out to Texas, the Vintage Train Station. Until the next one, peace.
Hey, you guys know we running train on the game, baby.
Yeah.
Choo choo.
Amazing experience, Paul Cantu. Shout out to you, Thrift Heaven Vintage.
Hey, thank you, brother. This is actually where I'm from, man. Yeah, this is my hometown. Yeah, 2003, man. I was a little kid. Shout out Rashad Bobineau, man. Went to the University of Texas, man. That was a crazy game too. Went into triple overtime. Damn. Yep, it's my hometown right there. Jesus Christ, your boy's concussed. Hey, cop of the day, baby, 1990 Bug.
All right, we're gonna get to know Paul from his taste and the selection point of view, and let's get into his dated faded worn pieces of well, maybe some stuff that means a little bit to him.
And on some Houston shit, we parking lot pimping right now. You did.
In the Thrift Chariot 2.0,
yes,
by the
sir.
way.
All right, so these are some finds that I got on Sunday. So this isn't like some of the craziest stuff, but these are recent acquisitions. And I do think this is wavy and crazy. It's a little Columbia beautiful vintage sport jacket. So I love the colorway, the embroidery on that little rain stopper hood visor. And then it has a nice little detail right there on the sleeve and the mesh pocket for narcotics. So yeah, dude, this piece is just a dope little jacket. I scoped it out. They were taxing and I waited a week and got it for half off. So of course that's crazy. Nice. Now you guys know I love some FUBU. As Big Mo said, F Hill figure FUBU shirt, you dig? So we got some FUBU flavors right now. You got that beautiful icy FUBU baseball jersey right here. It's like dip dye, little gradients. And so you got it in that blueberry and you have it in that banana berry and that little lemon, baby. A little bit of that little gunmetal steel. You know what I'm saying? So I love finding the FUBU pieces. They're old school, very reminiscent of Houston and where I grew up. I remember substitute teachers on Casual Friday would rock FUBU, and I was like, bro, I need some of that. But as a kid, I got the 0-0, like the bootleg FUBU. So the Boo-Foo, I don't even know what I was doing, man. Tripping. And then we got something for the children, you know what I mean? I had to get this in case I have an accident. So yeah, I got that Superman jacket right here for when I have a little one, you know what I'm saying? So sometimes I just like to stock up on little kids' shoes, accoutrements, and clothing pieces. So those are a couple of the quick and sexy little tasty, tantalicious finds that I found recently. Yeah.
And that's a little different too, because we're gonna do interviews with people that's gonna do stuff that means to them. This one exactly is different, and I love we doing this with you because this is very recent. We was able to do this into a thrift store, and yeah, it brings a complete vibe. So I appreciate you, Paul Cantu, again for all of this, and till the next time, shout out to Thrift Heaven Vintage. Everything's on the website,
thriftheavenvintage.com, baby.
Okay, yeah.
Simple.
And until then, Houston, shout out to Texas, and most of all, the Vintage Train Station, September 15th.
Killing these songs, leaving a bloody life I roost to. And I'm in it to win it, so I'm somebody that you should get used to.